Hi, you Evolving Now family. I'm Andre Young, and welcome to the Thought of the Week. I hope you've had an amazing day and ready to evolve. The topic for this week is called the Leader's Mile. Now, if you're familiar with the Thought of the Week, you know that I give you a quote. We get into the Thought of the Week, and then I want to leave you with a question and think about your answer, but more importantly, live your answer. So let's get into it today. I always like to start with a quote from my Evolve book, and this week's quote is, "There are no traffic jams along the extra mile." Roger Staubach. Now, what I love about that is that as a leader, you are a leader right now. Everybody thinks of a leader, of somebody who might be leading a company or a superstar or somebody that's famous or somebody that's always forging the way. And that last part is true. Somebody that's forging the way based on how they show up, what they do, the results that they get, and how they are as a person. That's amazing when we talk about leadership, and that can be you. So maybe you're not the CEO of a company. You could be the janitor. You could be middle management. Wherever you are, you can choose to be a leader. You are a leader in your home. Maybe not the leader, but definitely a leader. So we could be a leader in and of our own lives as well. And that's where we need to start. So this quote here is, there are no traffic jams along the extra mile. That's the leader's mile. A leader, we must be willing to go that extra mile to get to our definition of success. At some point, it's going to take more, a little bit more, or a whole lot more of what you're doing. See, I think back to my athletic days. And I remember going into college football, and I knew that our games would be 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And in the September, it is blazing heat. I played Division II football, which means there were going to be no commercial breaks. So when you play Division I, there's commercial breaks. You have extra timeouts on the field. You can catch your breath. Not to say that it's not hard, but you definitely get some extra breaks. So I knew I was going to be in that heat, melting. There were times where I had to put my hand over my exposed skin to stop my skin from boiling. So when did I choose to practice during the summer? I got up and I went to the park to practice at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and I drilled myself because I anticipated that this heat is coming. And I wanted to beat the heat instead of the heat beating me. Maybe we're in a business and we're going to take that extra mile. See, when I started my business, I took that extra mile, and you may need to take that extra mile because you're already working a job. You have a full-time job. You want to do this, but my, where will you find the time? I'm going to tell you the time. It's between when you get off of work at 6 o'clock to 2 o'clock in the morning. It's waking up early between 4 and 6 before you're going to work. I did that, you could do that, and the extra mile as a leader, so you can be the leader you want to be, is going to take that. Because at some point, you're going to have to give this advice to another person. Maybe as a relationship, in your relationship, I chose to go the extra mile by listening and speaking the language that my wife needed instead of what was easiest for me to give. See, I have a hard time listening to things that I didn't want to hear or didn't care about. And I love my wife, but it doesn't mean that you always want to hear everything that your significant other has to say. So I found out how to listen. I know that I can get a glass of wine and sit down and turn the TV off, and she has me all night long, and we could talk and she could say anything. I found out how I best listen. I also stay in tune to listen when I don't want to listen, because it means something to her that she's talking to me, because I'd rather her talk to me than not want to talk to me. I also learned to upgrade my language. What does she need to hear? What is important for her to hear right now instead of what's easiest for me to give? And then how to mix what needs to be said based on how it hits her ears. That was going the extra mile. And when we do that, when you do that in your relationships, boom, they can evolve. How do we do this as a parent? I chose, and you may choose, to go that leader's mile with discipline. And I don't mean disciplining out of anger. I don't mean disciplining out of frustration. I mean disciplining to teach. See, at some point, I had to say, I have to stop doing for you. I am here when you fall. I am here when you need me. I am here for the advice. But if I keep doing, you won't. If I keep enabling, that's my fault as a leader. And I own that. I am sorry that I've been making this easier for you. Obviously, you have to go through something so you can get something. And that's a hard thing to do as a parent. So through you evolving now and all of the seminars, the speaking engagements, the leadership development things that I do for companies, athletic teams, schools, and you, it's always talking about leadership and how we enhance that. How we walk this leader's mile matters. So in what areas for you as a person, a partner, a parent, and a professional have you gone the extra mile, that leader's mile? How will your life be different when you go that leader's mile and take that extra step as a significant other, as a partner, as a person, as a parent, and as a professional? I am honored and blessed to get to work with so many companies, executives, and employees, coaches, and athletes. And I want to know what your leader's mile looks like. What's the extra effort? What do you need to stop doing? What do you need to start doing? What do you need to continue doing to get to your definition of success, to connect, inspire, motivate, and elevate your leadership and your organization and your team? That's something to think about. Most importantly, it's something that you get to live starting right now, because this is you evolving now, not you evolving next week. So enjoy the journey. Live that journey and make a difference, better yet, make an impact in somebody else's life today. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you like this, you're going to love all of the content at youevolvingnow.com. It's YOU evolvingnow.com. And if you are interested in enhancing your team, your school, your university, your corporation, connect with me and let's get started. Guys, have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you next week.